are you going?
I gotta date, Daddy.
Not in those pants. Blood cannot get up to your brain. And besides, this is a school night.
It's Friday, Daddy.
Yeah, but did you go to school today? Okay, so it's a school night.
I asked Mom. She said I could go. Go ask her.
Ask Mom? I have to ask your mother? I don't have to ask anybody. Now go on in and change your pants. Thank you. Did you tell Denise she could go out on a date tonight?
Yes, I did.
Well, have you seen the boy?
Yes, I have.
Well, how ugly is he? I'm Denise's father. It's all right. Are you looking at my ear? No, I'm just looking at the earring in it. Yeah, it's a little conversation piece for some older people. I got on the ship. Merchant Marines, when you cross the equator, they pierce your ear. It's like a tradition. When you cross back, will they fill it in? That's good, sir. So, when do you ship out again? Oh, I'm not in it anymore. Oh, no, I had enough of that life. I'm back in school. You're in Denise's class? No, 2 years behind. And you don't mind that? Hey, after you've been in a Turkish prison, everything else is easy. Denise! Denise! There's nobody there, dear. Denise! Denise! Denise!
New outfit for you, Daddy?
Yeah.
Happy?
Listen, I don't know if you know it or not, but your date downstairs is just wearing one earring.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, he gave me a perfectly good explanation for it, but if you want my opinion, it's because he lost the other one.
Bye, Daddy.
Yeah. Denise?
Yeah.
Your face.
Your face.
Your face. I mean, it's only one half of your face is made up now. Are you going someplace else and do the other side? Or you plan on walking sideways all night?
Daddy.
Yeah.
Good night.
But you know that he spent a year in a Turkish prison. I was supposed to do something new.
Dad.
Hey! All right.
Dad, I thought about what you said, and I see your point.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I have a point, too.
Make your point.
You're a doctor and Mom's a lawyer. And you're both successful and everything, and that's great. But maybe I was born to be a regular person and have a regular life. If you weren't a doctor, I wouldn't love you less because you're my dad. And so, instead of acting disappointed because I'm not like you, maybe you can just accept who I am and love me anyway because I'm your son.
Theo, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. You know, when you get D's and everything. Come here. Now listen to me. I just want you to do the best you can. That's all.
I'll try, Dad.
Yeah.
I really will.
All right. I love you.
Yeah, Dad.
Huh?
I know.
Yeah. And maybe your mother loves you too. I want my dinner.
This morning,
I want my dinner now.
you're not going to come here.
I'm late, but I'm late.
So let it play.
I don't want to play right now in the park. Come on, Philip.
You have to set a good example.
For who?
Are you going to come back here or not?
Oh, yeah. Have Philip to his room lately?
I made him put his clothes away this afternoon.
Well, you know, they crawled back out.
What did you say to him about his report card?
Well, I laid it on the line to him, and I told him what he'd have to do better in school.
And what did he say?
Well, he said okay.
He said okay?
Not exactly.
Well, what exactly did he say?
He said, I'll try.
I'll try is worse than okay.
Well, no, I think he said okay. I think that's what he said. He said okay. You know, if you want, I'll go up and ask him.
Nick, did you tell him he's headed for disaster and that if he doesn't buckle down, he'll never get anywhere?
The boy does not care about getting anywhere. The boy said to me that he wanted to be regular people, when in fact what he is lazy people. And if the regular people find out that he's using their name, they're going to come down and kick his butt.
I was a beautiful woman once, before the children came.
I never met a more beautiful woman.
Do you think when I grow up, I'll be beautiful again?
You are beautiful now. I just hope they get out of the house before we die.
Let's just remember, this is how we got the children.
I just can't seem to help myself. I have been calling her, and we're getting on campus, putting her hold. See, she's calling to ask if they would put her on hold because I love that hold music. Hello, could you do me a great favor? This is a very unusual call. Hello, could you do me a great favor? This is a very unusual call, but you know the music, you have the holding music. When you put me on hold, it plays. Could you do that for me for a minute? I appreciate that very much. I think I'll get a box for all your goodies like this, the good goodies like this. What the devil is that too?
Put me on hold with these calm melodies, got me feeling for fidelity.
What the devil is that too?
What the devil is that tune? This is opus number 1. Find me on hold, move the new, waxing with the wind and give this moon. Next time is when I go straight to hold. Wait for the, then I know I'm Cisco Gold. Let's take a stroll through the central villages. Time to rock these time visitors. Operator said, hold up, let me stop you right there, cause I'm calling Dr. Opus in here. Push one finger for a whole lot of love. People might be thinking metaphors, but I'm literally in love with all these whole chords. Chanting counters, clapping numbers, what more can you wish for? Change up on that track for every time I call, I cross my fingers. focus for the longest queue of all, and then I wait, making a reason to get appointments today. I'm checking these doctors to know when they going out of town, and that's when I know I'm going straight to that whole town. Make myself a treat, yeah, you know I'm a Alamo, spoon and a root beer. Now I'm in old mode, hit one on the speed out, cause I'm calling steadily. Hit one on read out, cause I'm calling heavily. Man, this open lifestyle really is heavenly. I invite you, come to our opus, this magic hocus pocus. Poof, until the next time, you'll be feeling wonderful, perfect on the inside. Take your phone to your ear and hold this ride.
Because I love that hold music.
Hold this ride.
Yeah, that hold music.
Hold up. One more for the
Because I love that hold music. I just can't take the help myself. I haven't been calling and asking you on campus, putting me on hold. See, she's calling and asking people to put her on hold because I love that hold music. Hello, could you do me a great favor? This is a very unusual call, but you know the music you have, the holding music, when you put me on hold, it plays it. Could you do that for me for a minute? I appreciate that very much. I think I'll get a box for all your goodies like this, the good goodies like this. What the devil is that, too?
Put me on hold with these calm melodies, got me feeling for fidelity.
What the devil is that, too?
What the devil is that tune? This is opus number 1. Find me on hold, moon to new, waxing with the wind and give this moon. Next time is when I go straight to hold. Wait for the
25 years old now, but she's going to grow up, and she may begin to do bodybuilding. Come back, find you, and say, remember all the times you pushed me? And clean your clock. Denise, didn't I ask you to look after them? Read this. Hello? Ready? Hi. I'm going to hang up now. You can keep talking if you want to.
Daddy, this wouldn't happen if I had my own phone in my room.
If you had your own phone, we would never see you. And you would come out of the room one day and we would wonder who you are and charge you rent.
I can't talk to my own boyfriend?
Of course you can.
Where?
Any payphone in New York. Making biscuits. No, stop now. Cut it out. Come on. You're squashing grapes, making a mess of the food, and father insisted, tell Dad, what's the problem? Please.
How come Mom takes Tay to see the new movie Death Trap 2000 and not me?
Because you can't handle the scary stuff. Everybody knows that. You know that. I read for you Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep when you were a little kid. You cried for 2 weeks.
Did Mars' parents let her see it?
I doubt that very, very much.
Yes, they did.
If you want me to, I will call Janet Meisner's parents and ask them that and embarrass you all to pieces. I'm going to phone. You better stop me before I get there. This is your last chance. I'm picking up the phone. Have the receiver in my hand.
555.
It's ringing. You better pray they're not home. They're answering. Hello, Mrs. Miser. Dr. Huxtable here. Nice. Why am I singing? Oh, hi. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wanted to ask you, did you let Janet see Death Track 2000?
Hold up, let me stop you right there, cause I'm calling Dr. Opus in here. Push one finger for a whole lot of love, and people might be thinking metaphors, but I'm literally in love with all these whole chords. Chanting counters, clapping numbers, what more can you wish for? Change up on that track for every time I call, I cross my fingers for the longest queue of all, and then I wait, making up reason to get appointments today. I'm checking these doctors just to know when they going out of town, and that's when I know I'm going straight to that whole town. Make myself a treat, yeah, you know I'm a Alamo, tune in a root beer. Now I'm in old mode, hit one on the beat out, cause I'm calling steadily. Hit one on beat out, cause I'm calling heavily. Man, this open lifestyle really is heavenly. I invite you, come to our Opus, man.
And I get from close, and I went So that they basically ask us what we want them to do. You grab your phone. Your phone sort of does nothing until you tell it what to do. It waits for you, and it's just waiting for you, and all the hardware, computer technology around you is generally waiting for you. And we can use this for useful things. We could play video games. We could have it help navigate for our cars. Someday we might even have self-driving cars. And it's really, in a sense, in my mind, silly if you spend your whole life not really understanding this technology. And I think it's important that we learn to tell these computers what to do rather than just let them increasingly control our lives. And so, as we'll see, computers aren't very smart on their own. We humans are the ones that imbue them with knowledge, but we need to learn to speak their language. It is much easier for us to learn to speak their language than it is for them to learn to speak our language. Although, with these cell phones, we're starting to see little bits where they can begin to understand, but you would be amazed at the 40 or 50 years that it has taken us to understand, to build programs to begin to understand. So, I'm bringing you into something where you are going to learn the ways of programming and the ways of the computer, because it's easier to teach you how to program than it is to teach this how to work in your world, even though ultimately the goal is to get this to do work for you. So part of what I'm trying to do is move you from a user perspective, where you just look at the computer as something that someone else has constructed and you are the user of, to the point where you construct new things. Now, the first kinds of things that you're going to construct are actually things to solve your own problems. And it's very popular now to work on data, and Python is an excellent programming language for data mining and data analysis, and that's a lot of what we're going to do in this course. Although really it's a gateway to all kinds of things like, artificial intelligence or gaming or navigation or mobile applications or entertainment, all kinds of things. But first we have to learn to program. We have to move from using the computer as a tool to using the tools within the computer that allow us to change how the computer sees the world. So there's a couple of reasons that you might want to be a programmer. Some of you are looking to improve your career, to be paid to work on programming. I've been a paid programmer most of my life, and I like it. It's a good job. You don't have to stand in the mud. You don't have to lift things. You have to use your brain. And I'll just say that it's been nice for my career to not be exposed to the elements, but to be able to work often wherever I want. But that's actually our secondary goal. Our first goal is to get you to write programs that solve problems that you have to solve. Maybe you have a job as an accountant or a lawyer or something else, and maybe you run across some data. Maybe there's some system that logs your time, and it's not quite giving the report that you want to give. And so you say, could I just grab the log data myself and write a program to do some analysis to say, oh, what's the average this versus that, or the average of some other thing, right? And so that's the basic idea, that you'll initially use computers to serve your own ends. That makes it a lot easier to write programs because you don't have to worry about a million users using your software. If it works for you, then we're happy. And so it takes a little more training to write software for other people or for thousands and thousands of other people. And so part of what I want to do is I want to change your perspective. You look at this from the outside and you see it from the outside and you click on things. I want to turn this around, and I want you to be the person inside this looking out at the world. And as a programmer, we are making things inside these computers for the world. And so we want to pull you into being part of this. We want you inside this, or thinking inside this. And what you learn is that if you're inside this computer and you are taking your instructions to build programs to be used by the human, the human outside the computer, you have things that you need to take advantage of. There's things like the central processing unit, the memory of the system, the network connection of the system, the disk drive or permanent storage on the system. And as a programmer, you are kind of mediating between all those internal resources that this has that are not very smart but highly powerful, and mediating with what that user wants, right? And so we take the end user, and we programmers, we serve the end user, but the computer serves us. So together, between us and all the computer's resources, we can serve the needs of the end user. And we do this by writing code or programming, okay? And what is that? Well, programming is a sequence of instructions where we are giving instructions to the resources inside the computer in a way to accomplish the goals of the end user. And remember, sometimes we are our own end user. It's not just, you're not always doing a startup. You're not always writing a mobile gaming system. Sometimes you're writing something.
Alright, man. You got that gas money? No, I only got my car. Oh, that's all good. Nigga. You want cash back? You got that gas money? Actually, I do. Give me the shit. No, you don't. Nigga. Back to the crib. You got that gas money? Well, I'm playing. You not. Come here. Nigga. Hey, thanks for the ride. Yeah, no problem. You got that gas money? I paid for your lunch. Oh, yeah, you're right. Get his fucking leg back. Oh, nigga. Hey, man, take it to the hospital. You got that gas money? Man, I'm shot. Rest in peace. Alright, man. Alright, you got that gas money? I'm gonna get the next one. Oh, cool. Hey, what's wrong? Taking your ass back to the crib. Alright, man. You got that gas money? That's electric car. Yeah, you right. Alright, man. You got that gas money? No, I only got my car. Oh, that's all good. Nigga. You want cash back? You got that gas money? Actually, I do. Give me the shit. No, you don't. Nigga. Back to the crib. You got that gas money? Well, I'm playing. You not. Come here. Nigga. Hey, thanks for the ride. Yeah, no problem. You got that gas money? I paid for your lunch. Oh, yeah, you're right. Get his fucking leg back. Oh, nigga. Hey, man, take it to the hospital. You got that gas money? Man, I'm shot. Rest in peace. Alright, man. Alright, you got that gas money? I'm gonna get the next one. Oh, cool. Hey, what's wrong? Taking your ass back to the crib.